What is happening, Scoop fam? Get ready because the news cycle is absolutely exploding, and we've got all the unmissable updates you need right here, right now. From the gritty streets of Gotham to the cosmic corners of the DC universe, things are moving at lightning speed, and you do not want to be left behind. We're diving deep into the latest developments that have the fandom buzzing, so buckle up, because this is your essential download. Let's get into it. First up, we're heading back to Gotham, and a key player from the first film is speaking out on some seriously intense fan reactions. He's not holding back, and his take is as sharp as a batarang. You're going to want to hear this. Then, we're shifting gears to Metropolis, because Superman's next chapter has just been officially titled, and the hints about who he'll be facing are wild. Plus, we've got a peek at other upcoming DC projects that are set to blow your mind. After that, we're jumping into the virtual world, where a beloved Batman game is getting a sequel, and the confirmation comes straight from the source. Finally, we're circling back to Gotham's underworld with a word from the man himself, Colin Farrell, on whether we'll see more of the Penguin. Is a second season a good idea? He's got thoughts, and they might just surprise you. All that and more coming up right now. Don't touch that dial, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a scoop. A bat signal of truth in Gotham's shadows. The anticipation for the Batman Part II is palpable, with production slated to commence next spring, and the script, completed by writer-director Matt Reeves and Mattson Tomlin in June, is already generating significant buzz. Early reactions from those who have had the chance to read it, such as Colin Farrell, who plays the iconic Penguin, have been overwhelmingly positive, with Farrell describing the script as extraordinary. This sequel promises to build upon the gritty, atmospheric foundation of its predecessor, which has drawn comparisons to David Fincher's C7N for its dark, rain-soaked urban hellscape and the compelling dynamic between Batman and Lieutenant Jim Gordon. Actors expected to reprise their roles include Robert Pattinson as the brooding Bruce Wayne Batman, Andy Serkis as the ever-loyal Alfred Pennyworth, and the immensely talented Jeffrey Wright as Lieutenant Jim Gordon. Wright's portrayal of Gordon in the first film was a standout, lauded for its grounded approach as Gordon operates as Batman's partner on the ground, investigating the criminal underbelly of Gotham. This partnership, this buddy cop duo, is a key element that has cemented the film's unique identity within the superhero genre. However, Wright himself has recently addressed the divisive issue of fan backlash regarding the casting of a black actor as Jim Gordon, a character traditionally depicted as white. In a candid interview with Collider, while promoting his latest film, Wright did not mince words, calling such criticism so ing racist and stupid. He elaborated on the importance of these characters and their adaptations evolving with society, expressing his bewilderment at the resistance to updating characters from their 1939 origins. It's just so blind in a way that I find revealing to not recognize that the evolution of these films reflects the evolution of society, that somehow it's defiling this franchise not to keep it grounded in the cultural reality of 1939 when the comic books were first published. It's just the dumbest thing. It's absent all logic, he stated. This is not the first time Wright has confronted this particular brand of prejudice. He previously called out a fan on Twitter in 2022 for questioning the rightness of his casting, demonstrating a consistent and firm stance against such discriminatory views. While some defenses of Wright's casting focus on his merit as an actor, suggesting the best person for the job should always be the priority, this perspective can sometimes inadvertently sidestep the importance of representation. Wright's commentary points to a broader truth, that as society progresses, so too should its cultural touchstones, including beloved comic book characters. Batman and Gordon debuted in an era when segregation was legally enforced in the United States. The gradual introduction of black superheroes in the comics didn't occur until the 1960s, long after the civil rights movement began to gain traction. Even then, representation has often lagged, with major black characters like Lucius Fox only appearing in the comics in 1979, a move that corrected a historical oversight. A black Jim Gordon, therefore, not only reflects a more contemporary societal reality, but also adds new layers of subtext, particularly to his role as the incorruptible force fighting against the pervasive corruption within Gotham's police department. It's a change that enhances the narrative, making Gotham feel more grounded and reflective of the world we live in, while also serving as a subtle yet powerful statement against the persistence of racism in all its forms. The Batman Part II is slated for release on October 1, 2027. Audience impact. Fans have largely rallied behind Wright's firm stance, with social media platforms buzzing with support for his outspokenness against racist criticisms, viewing his comments as a necessary and overdue address of prejudice within fandom. And that's just the beginning of our deep dive into Gotham's evolving landscape. Now, let's shift our focus to a different corner of the DC universe, where a certain Man of Steel is getting ready for his next big-screen adventure. Man of Tomorrow ascends, a new era for Superman begins. The DC universe is gearing up for a monumental phase, and the highly anticipated sequel to the recent Superman film has officially received its title. Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Director James Gunn, alongside stars David Corenswet as Clark Kent Superman and Nicholas Hoult as his arch-nemesis Lex Luthor, have confirmed their return for this next chapter. The announcement was accompanied by striking comic book artwork featuring Superman alongside Luthor in his formidable warsuit, a clear indication of the central conflict to come. The film is slated for a July 9, 2027 release, positioning it to arrive in theaters just a few months before The Batman Part II, which is set for October 1, 2027. This confirms that Lex Luthor will indeed be the primary antagonist, stepping into his iconic warsuit to confront Superman directly. In the first installment, Luthor's attempts to defeat Superman were more indirect, involving the creation of a clone to do his bidding. However, it appears that in Man of Tomorrow, Luthor will take a more hands-on approach, engaging Superman in a direct, high-stakes battle. The return of James Gunn to the director's chair was expected, especially after the resounding success of the reboot. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav announced the new chapter following the film's impressive worldwide gross of $612 million against a production budget of $225 million, solidifying its status as a major success and a cornerstone for the new DCU. Beyond the immediate sequel, Gunn has also offered glimpses into the broader DCU slate. The next project on the horizon is Supergirl, starring Millie Alcock, who made a memorable debut in the first Superman film as Kara Zor-El, Clark Kent's cousin. Her dog, Krypto, was also briefly seen under Clark's care. The mention of Supergirl visiting planets with red suns hints at the exploration of Kryptonian lore and the unique challenges faced by beings from that world when exposed to different stellar environments. Furthermore, a significant casting surprise has emerged. Jason Momoa, previously known for his role as Aquaman, is set to transition into a new character, Lobo, in a Supergirl film directed by Craig Gillespie. Gillespie, acclaimed for his work on I, Tanya, and Cruella, brings a distinctive directorial vision that is expected to bring a unique energy to the Lobo project, particularly given his track record with character-driven films. The Supergirl film will be followed by Clayface, a project helmed by director James Watkins, with a script penned by acclaimed horror writer Mike Flanagan, Midnight Mass, Dr. Sleep, and Hassan Amini. The casting for Clayface includes Tom Rhys-Harries and Naomi Ackie, suggesting a potentially darker and more character-focused narrative. The recent digital release of Superman also precedes the launch of the second season of James Gunn's Peacemaker, starring John Cena, further indicating a packed and interconnected DCU release schedule. Audience impact. The confirmation of Superman, Man of Tomorrow, and the return of Lex Luthor in his warsuit has sent waves of excitement through the fanbase, with discussions already focusing on potential plotlines and the visual spectacle of Luthor's iconic armor. With Superman's future mapped out, we're now turning our attention to another beloved hero's digital adventures. Get ready, because we've got news about a highly anticipated sequel in the virtual realm. Arkham Shadow's Lengthen, VR Batman sequel confirmed. Exciting news is emerging from the world of virtual reality gaming, with confirmation that a sequel to the acclaimed VR title, Batman, Arkham Shadow, is officially in development. This announcement comes directly from Mark Ralston, the voice actor who brought Commissioner Gordon to life in the original game. Ralston revealed the exciting development during a recent interview with Culture Combine, stating that they are about to start another one of those. This news is particularly significant for fans of the immersive Batman experience, especially those who enjoyed the original game, which was exclusively available on the Meta Quest 3 and 3S platforms. Batman Arkham Shadow itself is a critically lauded VR game that is set in the intriguing period between Batman Arkham Origins and Batman Arkham Asylum. In the game, players don the cowl as Batman, navigating the dark and dangerous streets of Gotham to confront the formidable Rat King. The gameplay mechanics were praised for faithfully recreating the signature Arkham combat system, adapting it seamlessly for the VR environment and incorporating the franchise's beloved gadgets and fighting styles. Its innovative approach to virtual reality gameplay earned it the Best VR/AR Game Award at the Game Awards, underscoring its quality and impact within the gaming community. Ralston, a veteran voice actor with an extensive resume, also shared insights into his diverse work across various high-profile gaming titles. When asked about the differences in his process between games like Blade Runner and Marvel's Spider-Man 2, he highlighted the varying levels of immersion. While Blade Runner involved only voiceover work, his involvement in Spider-Man 2 encompassed complete motion capture, voice, and everything. He confirmed that his work on Batman Arkham Shadow also involved this comprehensive approach, and the prospect of returning for the sequel suggests a similarly detailed and engaging performance. This confirmation of a sequel arrives at a time when Batman gaming news is already buzzing. In related news, LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is reportedly set to feature an open world that surpasses even that of Batman Arkham Knight. Additionally, rumors and potential leaked footage concerning a canceled Damian Wayne Batman game have surfaced in recent months, indicating a rich and ongoing development cycle for Batman-related video game projects. The confirmation of Batman Arkham Shadow's sequel adds another highly anticipated title to the growing list of games that will allow players to step into the shoes of the Caped Crusader. Audience impact. The gaming community has reacted with immense enthusiasm to the news of a Batman Arkham Shadow sequel, with discussions on forums and social media platforms focusing on potential new villains, gameplay enhancements for VR, and the possibility of a more expansive narrative. This virtual journey into Gotham's depths has been thrilling, but our news doesn't stop there. We're now heading back to the live-action world to check in on a familiar face from Gotham's criminal empire. The Penguin's future, Farrell's hesitation, and the franchise's path. The sprawling world of Matt Reeves' The Batman continues to expand, with the critically acclaimed HBO Max series, The Penguin, serving as a significant bridge to the upcoming The Batman Part II. While the sequel's production is slated for next spring, with a release date set for October 1, 2027, the future of the series focusing on Oswald Cobblepot, portrayed by Colin Farrell, remains a topic of considerable discussion. Farrell himself has voiced a degree of uncertainty regarding the necessity of a second season, expressing a sentiment that resonates with the idea of preserving the impactful legacy of the first season. In a recent interview with Deadline, Farrell shared his candid thoughts on the prospect of more Penguin episodes. "I have no idea if it's happening," he admitted. "I know that I heard rumblings that they were thinking they'd like to do a second season, but I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know the way you go back to the trough, and part of me wants to go, just let it go, people. We got away with it. Leave it as it is." This sentiment stems from the show's considerable success, including its Emmy nominations, which have set a high bar for any potential follow-up. The concern is that a second season might struggle to replicate the unique magic and critical reception of the first, potentially diluting its impact or legacy. This hesitation from Farrell highlights a common dilemma in the entertainment industry. When is it best to leave a beloved story as a self-contained masterpiece, and when should it be revisited? The success of The Penguin Season 1 has undoubtedly created a strong foundation and a loyal audience eager for more. However, the pressure to meet, or exceed, the expectations set by such a strong debut can be immense. The possibility of continuing the franchise primarily on the big screen with the Batman Part II might be seen by some as a more streamlined approach, allowing the narrative threads to be woven into the larger cinematic arc. Despite his reservations, Farrell also expressed an openness to reprising the role if a compelling creative vision emerges. But, look, if they came up with a fantastic idea or something like that, of course I'd be open to it, he stated. This suggests that the decision hinges on the quality of the story and the creative direction proposed for a potential second season. If the Penguin does not return for a sophomore installment, there is a strong desire among fans and critics alike for certain characters, such as Kristen Miliotti's Sophia Falcone, to be integrated into the Batman Part II, ensuring their compelling performances continue to be seen. The franchise's dual approach, expanding through spin-off series like The Penguin, while simultaneously developing direct sequels like The Batman Part II, demonstrates DC's strategy to build out Reeves' distinct Gotham universe independently of the main DCU slate. For fans, this means more opportunities to immerse themselves in this specific iteration of Batman's world, even if the path forward for certain projects involves careful consideration of creative execution and audience reception. Audience impact. Fans are divided on the prospect of a second season for The Penguin, with many echoing Farrell's sentiment about not wanting to tarnish the first season's success, while others are eager for more of the character and his world, hoping for a compelling new storyline. Colin Farrell's thoughtful take on the future of The Penguin leaves us with much to consider about narrative legacy. But before we sign off, let's do a quick rundown of all the major headlines we covered today. And that's a wrap on today's explosive news cycle. We've got Jeffrey Wright dropping truth bombs about Batman casting, Superman. Man of Tomorrow is officially titled and ready to soar. A Batman Arkham Shadow sequel is confirmed for VR, and Colin Farrell is weighing in on the future of the Penguin. Make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on so you don't miss a single update. Hit that like button if you're hyped for what's next. Drop a comment with your thoughts on today's stories, and follow us on all social platforms for even more exclusive content. We'll see you in the next one.